I got the chiropractor because I've been having some like discomfort in my back, like the middle of my back, and like pain in my lower back. So I'm here to get it cracked and taken care of. You know what I'm saying? Yup. Because I can no longer deal with this discomfort. It's getting on my nerves.
That was a good comment, right? Okay. Yeah. I just like to check, you know, just to make sure. Okay.
Like, I just want to crack it.
Okay, and
But
try
it
to get it,
doesn't crack, yeah.
but it doesn't crack and it doesn't feel better.
Mm-hmm.
How long's that been troubling you?
A good one.
Okay. And did I also understand that somebody told you you might have a scoliosis? Was that, how did you find out about that?
Well, I did,
The medical for
Yeah,
sports.
yeah.
Oh, okay, fine and dandy.
yeah, and the nurse, she took my back, she wanted me to touch my toes thing, and she saw that like, one side is higher than one.
Gotcha. Gotcha. Have you been to a chiropractic doctor before? Okay, so that's probably a good place to start. Let's talk about what my job is in your healthcare, what I'm gonna go looking for, then we'll go looking for it, and we'll see if you have something I can help you with, okay? So let me grab a model, it's easier to show than to tell. So Tanner, my job is to look at the alignment of the bones of your back. So if I were to pull a couple vertebrae out of your back, this is what they look like in plastic. So you have the bumps that you feel down your back, the front of the vertebrae and the disc. Disc is just a pattern cushion, one bone to the next, 24 stack up to make your neck and your backbone. So in you and I, life size, right about here, okay? So the purpose of your backbone is to protect your spinal cord and its nerves from getting any damage. Good, because that's your brain's network cable. So everything that happens in your body, how you feel, how your muscles work, how your organs work, is because your brain is sending lots of information down that nerve and the body's reporting back on how it's doing. As long as that communication is good, you have the best chance to feel good and function well. What happens to us sometimes, over a period of time, sometimes all at once, the bone can lose its position and irritate the nerve instead of protect the nerve. So that cuts off the signal. So when the signal's cut off, then one of those three things isn't going to feel right. You might feel different, pain, numbness, tingling. You might have muscles that go into spasm. You may even have organ systems that don't want to work right. So my job, the chiropractor's job, is to find these places and then give you what's called an adjustment, which is move the bone to its normal position until we get the signal back. Okay? If I can get you to look like that, I can get you to feel better and get you to function better. Now, let's do a little terminology lesson, which is that when one bone is out of position, we call it a subluxation, which is Latin for little out of place. If we have three or more in a row, we just change the term, we call it scoliosis. So scoliosis is not a disease like diabetes, it's just a description. And most commonly it happens in ladies, and most commonly it happens in the middle back. So that must be what the school nurse thought that they saw. So we will look for that too. But that's not, I don't want you to worry about that. That's not a disorder, that's a description. Okay? So let's start out by having you stand up for me. And I'm gonna have you come and stand right here facing me, please. And I'm gonna have you bend forward like you're trying to touch your toes. Go as far as you comfortably can. Good. Come on back up for me and then just stand normally. Okay, so you're a little bit high on your left hip, a little bit low on your right shoulder. That's not bad posture, okay? That's your structure. So what we're looking for again is to start seeing how those bones are aligned and whether or not they're in the right position. Okay? Now, I'm gonna have you at this point, I'm gonna have to take your glasses off because you're going to lay face down for me on this table. So you can hang on to them or you can hand them off, whatever's more convenient for you. So let's have you lay face down for me if you would. All right. So we're going to start all the way down here at the bottom, make our way up to the top. Yeah, you're off by almost an inch actually in your pelvis. So what I'm looking at here is if I look at your legs, it looks like your right leg is shorter than your left leg. It's not really shorter. What's happening is you are pulling your body up like this, okay? Now, this is your foundation. So if your foundation is crooked, your house is crooked. So this part, and this is the most common thing I see in any human being. So it's either this way or this way. Because we all sit too long during the day and we abuse our lower backs. All right. Let me have you turn your head and look to the right for me. So just turn your whole head looking to the right. Good. Turn your head and look to the left for me. Okay. Back to the middle now. Okay. So when you look to the left, your leg on this side relaxes. And that's because, remember we talked about those three things that nerve is doing for you. One of them is your muscle function. So up here in the neck somewhere, you are irritating the spinal cord, and that's causing the muscles on this side to be too tight. So when you turned your head and you took the pressure off of it for a second, your body kind of went, and it just relaxed and everything went back down to normal. So let's see what's going on in here. So this foundation thing is likely why you have that scoliosis type thing going on in here, because again, with the pelvis sitting like this, if your body didn't adapt to that, by the time you got to your head would be way over here. So your body has to kind of put a little curve in it so that it can match up to your shoulders. Now the other thing you've done right in here is you've lost a little bit of the normal curve of your back. So this part of your back should be poking out toward me. When it does, that makes you like a big spring. So right now you're kind of jamming in there. And again, those three things that the nerves do for us, how we feel, how the muscles work, how the organs work, they don't like to travel far. So these are mostly organ system things. So not only we have a little bit of discomfort in the muscles here and how you feel here, but this area, particularly right through here, is mostly digestive function. So stomach, intestines, liver, gallbladder. Doesn't mean you have to be having problems with those organs, but it just means kind of like a cell phone that's missing a couple bars. Right now your brain can't talk to those areas as well as it should be able to. Now left uncorrected, this could become a arthritic change in there, meaning your body kind of will respond to the problem and you get some degeneration in the joint. But you're way too young for that, we're not gonna let that happen. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make a couple of notes and then I'm gonna get started working on this. So I just want you to relax there for a minute. Now, nothing I do today is going to cause you any pain. None of this is going to be uncomfortable. It just may be a bit unusual because you've not had this done. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to work on trying to level this pelvic area out. So slide toward your feet just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift you up a little bit with the table. The table drops. I'm going to let you feel that. So what you're going to feel is you are going to feel me mash down against your back, and when I do, the table drops down. You won't feel much except a little pressure and the table dropping away. So what we're doing is literally pushing the bone back in the right direction again. Kind of like braces on crooked teeth, just a fast version. Cool. Now this middle section, in order to fix that, I'm going to have you turn over from me. So I want you to turn all the way on your back. So what instrument do you play? Oh wow, so you're holding your arms up all the time, so yeah, no wonder that's feeling uncomfortable for you. Hang on to me. So you're doing marching band or you're in orchestra?
Marching.
Cool. So you're doubly, like you're marching around on this part and you're holding that up. Let's sit up. Good. So what I'm going to have you do is, I'm going to have you cross your arms for me. So go real tight like this. So we're gonna try and get this part to spring back out. So to do that, I'm gonna have you take a breath in and let it out. When you let it out, you're gonna feel me squeeze you, and you may hear a little click or poppy noise in there when that happens. Now that comes from air pockets inside the joint. That's not bones rubbing on bones. You're just like bubble wrap. So we have fluid in our joints to lubricate them. And when we open the joint, sometimes that air escapes out and makes that poppy noise. Take a deep breath in, let it out, and now let's lay back. Loose, 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 loose. And then a big push. There you go. Excellent. You okay?
Yeah.
Good. I know it's a little strange when you've not had that done before. So, we're going to stay right where we are. I'm going to lift your head up a little bit. So the last area is this one area right here in your neck. Yeah, it's right there. So here's what I'm going to have you do. Relax your head over to the side like we were turning it before. You'll feel me push a little bit. Again, you might hear that little clicking noise. Not painful, just weird because you've not had it done before. Please. Perfect. Here. Not bad? Good. That was the one. Okay, so no problem. Excellent. So legs over this way. Congratulations, you just survived your first adjustment. Nothing any worse than that. Do you need your glasses to hear me?
Yes.
I know, I need mine to hear, so that's why I asked. That's why I asked. So, let me grab this little blanket and we'll talk about what happens next. So, chiropractic always falls into two broad categories: fix things, maintain things. Think of it again, if you think braces on crooked teeth, think braces and retainer. Okay? So, fortunately, backbones move faster than teeth bones do. So, you have a moderate level problem. It's going to take us between 4 and 6 adjustments to get the body to hold the right position. Right now, it thinks the wrong position is the right position because it adapted to that, meaning your muscles and your ligaments got used to that. So what we have to do is repeat the process somewhere between about 4 and 6 times, and your body will learn to hold the right position of the bone. Once you do that, then you can do a little maintenance on it once in a while because you're still going to be active and you're still going to be marching around with your flute. Okay, so just like, drive the car, got to change the oil, so we got to make sure that we keep it in good shape. Now, when you come back to see me again, nothing any worse than what you just went through. That's as bad as it gets. It's just repeating that process until your body remembers the right position of the bone. Also, since chiropractic is a physical form of healthcare, like physical therapy or exercise, the good stuff is at the end of the process, not the beginning. So don't feel disappointed if you don't feel any major changes after the first adjustment. I'd be surprised if you did, because again, just like if you put braces on your teeth, a month later you don't see that your teeth have moved. A year later you see your teeth have moved. So in this case, it's going to take a little bit of time to build an effect. Now, if you have any soreness tonight, and you might, it should never feel worse than if you did an exercise and you felt a little sore from your muscles. I want you to ice those areas down, don't heat them up. Okay, that comes from the inflammation that's in there. So a couple of great things about the joint. One is once you're in the system, one place, you're in all of our 850 clinics. And you can go to any of them. They will have all your notes. They will know what to do. Of course, if you come here, you'll see me. We have a crazy number of hours that are available, and you never need an appointment. So when you come in for the follow-up care, you just come in, wait your turn, come on back, we give you an adjustment. The time in the office for the follow-up adjustment is very short in duration, because we know what to do now. We just need to do it, okay? The other thing that's great is they go out of their way to make it affordable. So what I'm going to suggest is you get on what's called the Welness plan for a couple of months. That's going to let you get the care that you need, and you're not going to have to pay. You're not going to have to pay a lot for the care, because I didn't assume you were paying for your care. Where are you? I was going to say you could, So it would not be even too much for you to come back in on sequential days. So in other words, it's the quantity of care, not the spacing of care that matters. Okay. Now this particular clinic, because we're brand new here, this one is closed on Sundays and Mondays, but our one on Abercorn Street is 7 days a week. Our one in Pooler, 7 days a week. So if one of those days works better for y'all, you can go over there.
We could come every Saturday.
So what I would suggest is we're gonna need to do it at least for the first few visits. We need to get those first few in no more than about a week's time. So I need you to get in a little bit more frequently just in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Then as it begins to hold, we'll move ourselves out of that and we'll start going more toward that maintenance level schedule. Now, I have not treated you before, so you may heal faster than I expect you to heal. You may heal slower than I expect you to heal, but we'll know that as we go forward, okay? So I may change that as we go. But for right now, what I need you to do is within the next 7 days, get back in 2 more times to see me. Okay?
2 more times? All
Or
right.
go to the other clinic so that we get those 3 visits within that first week. Then we will start backing that down from there.
All right.
Okay? Now, I've done a lot of talking at both of you. What questions can I answer for you?
I got you.
Go ahead.
Like when I'm sitting up, right? Am I still gonna feel a little like tiredness in the middle?
For a little while. Once it's fixed, it won't. But right now, it's gonna take me a little while. I wish I could fix you instantly. I only know one guy who could do that, and I'm not him.
Let's go.
So it's gonna take me a little while, but the good news is, not a whole lot. In other words, after we get through the first couple of weeks of care, you really should stop feeling a lot of that discomfort in there, okay? Because right now, the problem is, everything is kind of crooked in there, so the only thing that can happen is your muscles have to hold you up, and those muscles are getting angry about that, okay? Now, nothing is broken or torn, so you go ahead and live your life. There's nothing you have to restrict yourself on, okay? So, but I will get it done as quickly as I can for you. It's a great question. I'll get it done as quickly as I can for you. What else?
Lower back.
Yes.
Like when I sit like for too long, or I don't know, like I was just sort of pain in my lower back.
Yep. That's that off leveling of your low back.
Or the pelvis.
Yep,
Oh.
exactly. And for the same reason. Because if you look at, like if we looked at these little diagrams, and I'm gonna cheat and use this because we're gonna have fun. We expect your pelvic bone to be nice and level and your spine to be nice and straight on top of it, okay? Yours is sitting like this, which means if your spine didn't do anything by the time we got up to your head, you'd be way over here. So that's partly why we're getting that scoliosis in the middle. But there are muscles that go from here to here. Well, if your pelvis is balanced, the muscles are balanced. Right now, you're bunching this muscle up and you're really stretching the heck out of that muscle. And that's why you're feeling that pain down there. So as I level this off, those muscles will calm down, the nerves will calm down, and you're gonna feel better. Make sense? Got it. What else? You got great questions. I love it. What else can I answer for you?
I don't think I have any.
Well, if you think of it and you ask me, because it's your body, I want you to feel comfortable with what happens here. Fair game? All right. All righty, you two. I'm going to get you up front with Katie. She'll get you signed up on that wellness plan. We'll get you back in. Now, like I say, if you want to come back here, come back on Tuesday. If another day is better for you.
What
like
time you
Sunday or
close on
Monday,
Tuesdays?
7 o'clock at night.
Okay, Tuesday will be
So
great.
yeah, you can come back, late in the evening, and you just come out, take your turn, and we'll be right with you.
All right.
I gotta have one more question.
No, go ahead. Don't you worry about that. You stop me whenever.
It's because of my spine. Is that the reason why I keep slouching?
Yes. Yes. Because it's caved in up here, which is why we're putting you on your back and stretching that out. So imagine, because it's like this, now I'm gonna push a little bit. Imagine that it's pushing you this way. What happens? You start to slump forward. You can't straighten up because you got this thing pushing you forward. As I get that back to normal, you'll be able to do that. So it's not that you have bad posture, it's that your structure is bad and it's pushing you in a bad direction.
Wow.
I like the nod. We got to it. All right, come on.
We're understanding. Oh my gosh.
Hey,
Good one.
Feel good?
how are you doing today? I like that.
So guys, I signed up for the welfare plan,
Wellness.
wellness plan. So
It's such a simple.
For the first visit.
so for the first visit, I get like
Visits?
7 visits, and then for the rest of the month, I get 4. So that's $49.
So how do you feel?
She still need to crack.
Still need to crack again? So we're gonna work on it.
It's like, it's maybe like 3 or 4.
Alright.
Thank you guys for watching. If you enjoyed, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Bye. Love.
Alrighty, my friend.